Morning, boys. What a fucking night. What are we? 2.5% pretty much. Right at open. Mr. Duds. Mr. Duds, hope you're enjoying your new Lucid account. Yeah, I'm sure he is. Indigo. Longed last night from previous week value area high, 5-point stop. Not sure how to get the 50. Fuck off, Daz. No way. How much did you make, Daz? You took that trade and made what? That's insane. 200 points just like that. Yeah, literally. What a crazy night. I will be, you know what? Let me check Top Step's Discord or see my emails or anything, just because we are so overextended. I'll make sure there's not been any rules or anything, because 2.5% is a hefty amount for us to be up. Yeah, I think it's fine. Wasn't expecting it to be super crazy. But we do only have the overnight levels to work with today. So these are going to be my 3 reference points, because where are we? We're 6,828. Previous day value area high is 250 points below us. So I don't know if we're oh, just joking. Oh my god, I fully believed you, Daz. I was thinking that you were going to say oh yeah, I longed from previous week value area high, but got out at a 1-to-1 after 5 points. Is what I thought you were going to say. Good morning. Slippage is a thing in futures, yeah, but only when things like that happen, really. Only when things like Trump announcing Trump announced the ceasefire, didn't he? Or he announced that he agreed to the ceasefire. That's what set the market on a fucking warpath to the upside. Yeah, you'll get slipped. If you were trying to enter on NFP or something, where the market goes really volatile, you would get slipped, yeah. Only because there's only your order can only get filled so fast. Your order has to go through the exchange and then back to you for it to get filled. And in the milliseconds that takes, if price is moving that fast, then that causes slippage. Yeah, I'm definitely on the hesitant side today as far as trading. Definitely on the hesitant side. Cautious side. I'll still trade, though. I'll still trade. Do we have any actual news? FOMC meeting minutes at 2, but no actual high impact news in the morning. We have CPI on Friday. So nothing to worry about, basically. That would have happened if I was in the business of leaving orders on, yeah. Especially on something like Tradeovate, where we've spoke about that before on stream. The whole the Tradeovate thing where you have to make sure that you cancel each order like individually. I've got a size filter of 100 on right now, and it's still like I can barely see the candles. Very volatile today. I want to up this to 120 just so I can like see. There we go. I'll probably lower it to 100 just a bit later on. Got some good long trades in London, practicing with one micro contract using the high volume nodes. Yeah, I mean, when you don't have any other option, it's always good practice. I personally wouldn't make a habit of trading just with the individual volume profile. Obviously, it's not like the super high probability trades you're taking with just the individual profile, but it definitely does develop that skill of reading the profile, 100%. I'll start leaving limit orders with 200 point TP every night. Yeah, honestly, Robert, that is not the worst idea in the world. in this market. Day 2 trading ES, caffeine levels have dropped significantly. Oh yeah, thank God. I opened a buy trade and thought I was selling and won $70. What's my software? DC Trader. This is MotiveWave. I've got a few videos on my channel about MotiveWave, why I use it, and how I use it for a cheap price, because it's a fairly expensive platform if you go directly through MotiveWave, not through Lucid though. Not if you go through Lucid. Sellers are definitely, we had buyers absorbed up here. You can see sellers getting aggressive. With these sellers got absorbed, but now we've got more aggressive sellers coming in here. So I wonder if we will get like a break and retest of the overnight value area low. The only issue is like, what do you then target? Previous day value area high. Go for a 200 point trade to the downside. I have the bubbles on the side chart like you used to have with the depth of market. Yeah, that is like a pretty nice way to do it. I like having used them more and just having like really gotten to like them. That's why I've moved them across to like my main chart. But yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with having them on your like secondary chart, if you will. I like having my secondary chart be literally just the CVD as well. So that's like another reason the bubbles don't really work for me on that chart. It's because I don't do this chart like ES and CVD. I literally just have this as like a CVD chart, and then I can just compare it to ES whenever I want. Also helps because then I can just like toggle it on and off. Because if like I know when I used to use the CVD like a bit more. Is this on the right time, by the way? I didn't even check, I don't think. Yeah, it is. When I used to use the CVD a bit more like actively, I guess, when it was a bit more like of a primary like thing I was looking at a lot, I would have it open like on the side constantly, and I noticed that I would just end up watching the CVD instead of price, which is not the right way to go about the CVD. Would you say that using TradingView and Bookmap is good data to trade order flow? Yeah, Bookmap's obviously one of the best platforms around. It's a bit more on the expensive side, but that's my opinion. TradingView not so much. TradingView doesn't really have anything that's like order flow, that's reliable for order flow. So it depends what you're using TradingView for, because like the volume profile on TradingView is decent, but like it's not like there's when you start getting into volume and order flow, TradingView kind of, it doesn't become obsolete, but there's definitely better options than TradingView, like MotiveWave. But Bookmap is Bookmap's kind of like almost the gold standard, I would say, for specific things like the heat map. Everyone loves the Bookmap heat map. But yeah, I don't know. Bookmap's, in my opinion, if you're asking for my opinion, Bookmap is overrated. It does have all the tools, obviously, that you like would want, but it's overrated in like people seem to just think that Bookmap is like the secret sauce, when in reality you can get like everything that Bookmap shows you on like multiple other platforms that are cheaper. I've literally got a video on my channel about how to make I don't have it. I deleted the tab on here because I thought it was using too much data whilst I was streaming in the background, and I never really used the heat map anyway. But I've got a video showing how you can get a Bookmap style heat map on MotiveWave. It's not as clean as Bookmap, but it's damn sight cheaper. Yeah, there you go, Daz. Yeah, I cancelled my TradingView subscription a while back. I wasn't paying for it yearly though, I was paying for it monthly. So I was paying like 20 quid a month for TradingView. Compared to, yeah, a one-time fee for MotiveWave through Lucid. Thank you, Lucid. Okay, we're getting some action down here. We're getting a little bit of a battle going on. Right at this, right above this overnight value area low. It's 4 minutes away from my trading window. I used your video to make my heat map and it was pretty effective. Kudos to you, bro. Hell yeah. One thing I will say, Indigo, I don't know if you will have seen it or not, but someone commented in the comments of that video. POC flip soon, yeah, probably. Someone commented in the comments section of that heat map video of mine with slightly better colors for the heat map, in case you didn't know. Like I swapped my colors to whatever the person commented in that video, and it just looks a little bit more like Bookmap-esque. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with the one that I show you, and it's a bit easier because it's like built into the indicator. But I will definitely say that when I swapped my colors to the colors of the person who commented, and it definitely looks cleaner. Yeah, I don't use the heat map personally. I don't really feel like it benefits me that much. If I feel like it for me. See, I'm not the voice of God when it comes to these things, but I'm entitled to my own opinions. For me, I don't feel the benefit of the heat map so much for the my specific thought process, I guess you could just call it. And I feel like it just adds another layer of like analysis that isn't. It's probably beneficial, but because it's more like it's seeing all the resting orders. That's data that I'm not looking at right now. I have no idea where all the resting orders are, but I don't think it helps me too much. Seeing, there you go, Daz, there's your POC flip. Seeing all the resting orders. And it just causes, like, it's just likely to cause analysis paralysis for me. Because I'll just read into it too much. Same thing with the CVD. Like, the CVD has kind of took a backseat on my analysis. Especially after putting big trades in. Because big trades, I can kind of tell what the CVD is going to tell me anyway. Just looking at big trades. Which is nice. Not, like, completely the same, but... like, sometimes. Like, when I'm looking at absorption and... exhaustion, more so absorption really. I don't know if you can just if you can tell exhaustion so much, but same thing with the heat map. When I used to use the heat map, I'd end up like staring at it all the time, and I'd be like, hang on a minute, there is like a whole fucking price chart and volume profile that I should be paying attention to as well. Oh, that was you, Indigo. That's funny. Use my artist skills to get the colours, yeah. Is this the kind of build-up of volume above the overnight value area low that would make you more comfortable to take the break and retest? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. fair value is shifting lower than, it's much lower than the overnight point of control. So we've built very little volume and rejected, really. We popped up to this overnight point of control right at the open and rejected it strongly. Headed down to the overnight value area low, and then fell just a bit short. We're trying to push back up higher now. Maybe we're gonna fill up this this node a little bit. I would rather see more like, I would rather see a node build up like closer to the overnight value area low. And I would also not really want to see much of a drop off in volume. Like, really, for me to feel real confident in this break and retest, I want to see it break overnight value area low, come down here, but then I also want to see it, I can't really draw this without using the pen, and I'm not using that fucking pen. I want to see the profile build volume like down here below the overnight value area low. Because then that's like real confirmation that like, okay, people are willing to transact below, but in a discount. So then if I see, and then that also gives me a nice target. So we get like a high volume node falling like down here. Then I have a nice target to getting short the overnight value area low. Stop loss probably like behind this node. Target at the opposing node. As opposed to just like selling into nothingness. Into the void. I mean, it's not really the void. We have overnight price action and stuff, but, you know. If you guys hear that, that was my neck. Oh my god. I do love a neck crack. I'm that weird kid that was in school that was just like cracking all his fucking knuckles and shit constantly. But the neck crack is one that I didn't have enough XP for in school. I had to develop that one. Have you ever thought of giving London its own profile? Not really. I get your point, because like it's its own session, but there's no real jump in volume from like Asia to London to New York. Like there is a little bit, but not really enough. Like compare the jump in volume and like participants from Asia to London. And then London to New York. It's like night and day, London to New York. So it's, yeah. I get your point, but I wouldn't say that's, I'd say that's probably just unnecessary. You can kind of just, like, it is still like, it's the overnight session and it's the New York session. Because then, like, then you could, if you're going to give London its own profile, then it's like, okay, well, why not do, like, if you're going to do that, then why not also do like a New York AM profile and a New York PM profile? It's probably just overkill, I would say. Sellers not really having much effect on price here. It might be popping back up to the top of the range. Plus the volume is more or less the same from Asia to... Yeah, exactly. New York session almost triples in volume, yeah, if not more. You can put like the volume bars at like the bottom that show like volume at like time. You can see just like how much it jumps up. Is there a study to do that? On there must be, right? All studies, volume. Daily volume profile. Relative volume? Volume? Is it just going to be called volume? Yeah, there you go. Yes, you see, let's go onto like a 5-minute chart. Let me turn big trades off. You can see how much the volume drops off at New York, and it's like relatively the same throughout the whole overnight session, and then spikes at the open again. So yeah, may as well. I need to turn that off. Nightbot just fucking deleted DC Trader's message. I'm sorry about that. I can still read your message, I think. What are the bubbles on your screen? Also, DC Trader, that message will have got deleted because you spammed it in like capitals. The Nightbot is at the minute. I don't want him to be doing that, but yeah. Sorry, that's not your fault that message got deleted. What are the bubbles? The bubbles are big trades. Yeah, you go. Daz answered you anyway. It's big trades. Each one of these bubbles, the green bubbles are aggressive buyers. At the minute, the filter's set to 120 contracts. So these bubbles are 120 contracts or more. The bigger the bubble, the bigger the order. And I don't even know what color this is, to be honest. Like a purpley color, right? It's like a indigo almost. This more indigo color is market sellers. Like the green one is market buyers. So I'll use that. I got it from Fabio Valentini, the Babbles. Just helps me read aggressive participation in the market, so I can read if a move is being driven by any actual aggression. So like right now, you can see this sell candle is zooming down, but there's no actual aggressive sellers in this. There we go. And then we've got aggressive buyers and sellers both appear there. So I can kind of read if there's any initiative behind a move, if there's any actual effort. I'm changing it. I normally have it set to 100 for ES for the New York AM session. Yeah, I can read if there's any actual aggression behind a move, so I can trust it more. Oh, it's loading the new contracts. There you go. And I can also kind of do like effort versus result, so I can see like if buyers got absorbed. So like at the top of this move here, we had some aggressive buyers, and then we started moving lower. So these buyers failed to move price higher, so they got absorbed by a passive seller, and then price dropped. Same thing here. We got aggressive sellers, little bit of a move lower, not so much, and then buyers stepped in and price started rising. Just helps me. I'm going to up that back to 120, by the way, because it's all over the place again. Helps me feel more in tune with the market, not so much something that's like strictly a part of my model. Like it doesn't really change my entries. My entries are all volume profile based, really. But it helps me feel more in tune with the market and therefore read it better, judge trades that I might not want to be a part of. And it also helps me with stop loss management is the main thing. The main impact it has on my strategy is stop loss management, because if I'm in a long, for example, I can trail either behind sellers that got absorbed, or I can trail behind aggressive buyers if I'm in a long, because I would want those aggressive buyers to push price higher. Yeah, market sellers getting wrecked. Look at the CVD. Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, it's all these sellers here. Getting priced out nowhere. So yeah, big absorption there. That low to this low of the sellers. Bullish indicator. So it didn't quite get down to the overnight value area low. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to go have a look at this. Oh, hello. Back down we go. No aggression behind that one either. This sell pressure is obviously building a lot. No real follow through again. Big spike down from this pressure and then got absorbed. This is a similar situation where, like, if we do break this overnight value area low, I'm going to feel pretty confident shorting it. This is like what I was talking about the other day, Daz. I think I was talking about it to you mainly. Was the whole, like, yes, this is an absorption, but if this breaks, then we have so much pressure where it's going to be, like, a real nice short. Obviously, we need to break, though, like I said the other day. Right now, this is a bullish indicator because you can clearly see sellers getting absorbed. But we're like at POC, so the buyers aren't as of yet able to push price higher from where is fair value yet. Once they've absorbed all these buyers or all these sellers, once they've absorbed all those bad boys, then maybe we will see. It's more of like a decision point right now. Less predicting price, more just reading what it's showing us in this point right now. That's why I'm not in a trade. I can't even see the CVD divergence on TradingView. Don't bother trying to use the CVD. This is what I was talking about. I think it was you, wasn't it, DC, that asked about... Was it you that asked about Bookmap and TradingView? TradingView's CVD is not reliable at all. I'm scrolling up to see if it was you that asked about Bookmap and TradingView. Where's that fucking comment? I can't find it. But yeah, if it was you that said about Bookmap and TradingView DC, TradingView, you don't want to be using any sort of order flow tools on TradingView because they're just not, they simply don't have access to the data that makes them reliable when you use them on TradingView. TradingView doesn't have access to the right data. So it really is just a bit of a piss take that the tools are even on TradingView, like order flow tools. The volume profile is fine because it still doesn't have, the volume profile doesn't have access to the data. Like, again, sellers got absorbed there at the bottom. The volume profile in TradingView doesn't have access to the right data either, but the data it does use to calculate the volume profile in TradingView is like a pretty good estimate for like what the true levels would be if you have the right data. But whereas like something like CVD, the data matters a lot more. So yeah, TradingView CVD indicator is pretty much unusable. Yeah, it was you. Okay. Yeah, use the CVD on Bookmap. Bookmap has a CVD, I'm pretty sure. Use Bookmaps. That one will be reliable. If you can use that. Honestly, you should just use everything Bookmap. If you can use it on Bookmap, use it. as in like if you're debating whether to use like the CVD on TradingView or the CVD on Bookmap, use Bookmap. I don't even know. Does Bookmap have a volume profile? Probably do. I don't know if it works quite as well, but as in like how user friendly the volume profile on Bookmap is. But I think there is one. Basically watch the how to get MotiveWave video on here. They've made the switch. Daz said it, not me. We're really getting nowhere right now, and all the sell pressure is just building. I kind of honestly, even though obviously these sellers are getting absorbed a lot, I always want it to break in situations like this. Because then I'll be like super confident in taking the short, but like break and retest of overnight value area low. But alas, I don't always get what I want. Best move I made was stop using TradingView. Yeah, I do think it's very beneficial for a lot of people, especially that are interested in volume and order flow, 100%. Because it just makes you that bit more. I can't fucking speak today. It makes you that little bit more confident in your trades because you're like, you know that the data that you're getting your levels from is like, it is the best data you can get, like the most accurate levels you can get. Whereas when I discovered the difference between like a volume profile based on tick data and a volume profile based on tick volume with TradingView, this is when I was using TradingView, I hadn't even gotten access to like the volume profile on MotiveWave or anything like that yet, but I was just so adamant that I needed it because from the moment I learned that the tick volume levels aren't 100% accurate, I was constantly second guessing them because I was like, are they accurate today? Aren't they accurate today? I'll trust them, but I kind of don't trust them at the same time. Whereas on the platform like MotiveWave, where you got the tick data based volume profile, absolutely zero issues as far as trusting it because it's 100% accurate, like you know it is. On TradingView, your win rate was less than 50%, now 76%. Fuck yeah. 6 trade win streaks, then 1 loss, then back to the win streaks. Blows my mind. Yeah, I mean, the win streaks have been going crazy for me recently as well. I had that win streak that I started at like the end of Feb, going into March. There was like a 7 trade winning streak. And then then I fucked that up because I had that whole issue like trying to be Fabio for a little bit in March. So I went on like a 4 trade losing streak on the funded accounts. And then pulled myself back together, reminded myself how to trade. And now I'm back on the winning streak. So I'm on a 5 trade winning streak, I think. If I remember that correctly. Not had 2 losses in a row yet. Oh, it'll come, Daz. It will come. So don't be disheartened when it does. It's only right. How many trades have you taken to measure your 76% win rate? Because that also matters as well. Because obviously the data sample needs to be large enough to trust it. Like my win rate right now is 71%, but that's based off like 36, 37 trades. So it's like not a valid win rate at all. Like I need 10x the trades for it to even really be considered like a true win rate. I'm at 40. Yes, there you go. I do think that with the volume profile, with the system that Cami teaches, that a lot of people will kind of settle around like that high 60s, low 70s. Like I say, right now I'm sat at 71%, like 70.97%. Buyers stepping in now. Maybe they've finished absorbing the sellers. But like I'm perfectly okay with that dropping down. I'm pretty sure with a 1-to-1 risk to reward, yeah, you need not a 1-to-1, sorry. With my risk to reward where it's like fluctuates. Basically, as long as I'm above sort of 60%, I'm happy. I mean, with a 1-to-1 system, obviously not accounting for like commissions and stuff that would slowly bleed you, but with a 1-to-1 system, as long as you're as long as you're higher than 50%, then you're not losing money. Obviously, if you're exactly 50% with a 1-to-1 system, including commissions, then you're slowly going to bleed money. How do you backtest if you trade order flow? It's difficult. There is platforms that you can do it on. I don't know if you can backtest on MotiveWave, but I don't know how well it works with like the order flow stuff. But yeah, it's difficult to backtest. I haven't done much backtesting, to be quite honest, because it's also like reading order flow in real time is also so much more of like a skill. Depends how deep you go with order flow. You can backtest the volume profile pretty easily, to be honest, but like real order flow stuff. Oh, here you go. The sellers are trying again. Getting such a little consolidation here. Makes sense, since we had such an explosive overnight session that we're just going to go sideways in the morning. Market's choppy, yeah. Just waiting for something. But yeah, I'm anticipating like either a no trade day or honestly, I'm anticipating a loss. That's why I'm kind of waiting for me to. So like I only have the overnight levels to play with, and we've literally yet to touch a. We're about 25 minutes into the stream. We're 50 minutes into the open, and we've touched one value level the entire session so far, and it was literally in the first like seconds of the market open. So I always take 1-to-1s unless the POC is more obvious to target, but then I move. Yeah, that's why I've started doing more so leaning, like doing the like taking my profit at the first logical level, whether it be like an opposing high volume node, POC, value area high or low, or like a value level from a previous session, whichever thing comes first is where I've started doing it, and that sometimes means that I get a 1-to-1. It sometimes means I get like a 1-to-1.6. Sometimes it means, like on those mean reversion trades, I'll get like a 1-to-0.8, 0.6. I have one rule in place for that, where if it's less than a 0.6 risk to reward trade, I won't take it. But if it's 0.6 or higher, then I'll still take it, just because the win rate on them is so high that it doesn't really matter so much that it's negative risk to reward. On those, specifically on those mean reversion trades, targeting the POC, fading the high or low in like a D-shaped profile. Probably a good day to just watch and chill out. Yeah, for sure. If there's ever a day where you... Like, it's such a nice day in the UK today as well. It's like 20 degrees. It's real nice. Went for a nice afternoon walk earlier on. Probably go for another one afterwards just to make the most of it. Touch some grass. Touch some grass. Basically, you just trade the reaction at one of the levels. Yeah, pretty much. In like a simple way. I'll add things together, DC. So like I would want to see this current session volume profile. I would want to see that complement a trade idea at one of these value levels from a previous session, whether it be the overnight session or like all the way down here today. Obviously, we're not going to get a trade based off of these today, but all the way down here, we have like the previous week's value area high, low, POC, previous day, value area high, low, POC. So like I more, most of the time I have more than just like fucking 3 levels to trade off of. I'll also use initial balance as well when that sets, which is actually going to be pretty soon. So I'll go ahead and mark up the high and low of that. We've got initial balance low down here. Oh. This is definitely a day where I would probably anticipate a fade of initial balance, to be honest. Just because we're so... We've moved so much in the Asia session that, like, we're already well into... have I got that right, that high there? We're well into the average true range of the days. The last 14 days. Let's go on the daily chart just to see what it is. Average true range of the last however many days, 14 days, is like 130 points. And today's initial balance would maybe possibly make you think that we haven't done enough, since we've only done less than a quarter of that. But then when you actually look at the daily candle and remember that we shot up overnight, you can see that we're actually pretty done for the day already. How many points has this daily range been? 200. So already, can I click on that and get the range? 195 points. So we're 50% over the average range of the past 14 days. So we have done more than enough overnight. Which explains why we're just kind of... Oh, shit. Which explains why we're just kind of chopping. So yeah, that's why I'll look for a fade of the value level. Sorry for the fucking around with the chart. Professor Mac! My biggest issue was fighting to move to break even too soon. Yeah, you just need rules in place for that. I've not had a break even. Do you know something I checked earlier on my journal? And like you boys know my rule. I'll if I'm targeting a 1-to-1, then it's like a fixed rule. But like recently, obviously, I've not been targeting a strict 1-to-1. Is Kai muted? I'm not muted. I'm speaking. Check your audio. I can see OBS and I can see volumes coming out, so you can't trick me. What was I saying then? Yeah, my break-even rule is to move to break-even at like once 90% of my TP is hit for like my one-to-one trades. And I've not had a break-even since it was like early Feb. So it's been a while. Overnight value area low and developing value area low back to POC likely. With initial balance low there as well. And a lack of volume. And the amount of absorption we've had. I don't mind it. I'd probably choose to fade the initial balance low. But it needs to set first, obviously. We've still got 4.5 minutes until it's set. And then we can go for something like... That's 6 points. I'd probably go for something like that, potentially. That's a definite trade idea. Just get the risk right. 6 micros. How do you pick a bias when you fade the initial balance? Just kind of reading how big the initial balance is and comparing it to the daily average true range. I've got a video on initial balance, so that'll help if you want help with if you want help with how I use it. And then also just kind of reading the context, like Daz said, if we have initial balance low, we have a drop off in volume at the like lower end of this. We obviously have like a very strong POC, and we have a drop off in volume here with a nice strong POC, and we're in a very consolidating environment. So kind of just looking at the profile, the actual kind of environment of what price is doing, and using that as well as, like I say, if the initial balance, if on a normal day, obviously today doesn't really work because we shot up so much in the Asia session, so it doesn't really work the same. But if on a normal day where like London and Asia haven't done so much, and the main price movement is likely to happen in the AM session or the New York session, if we are in a day like that and then we get an initial balance which is like really small, really compressed, then that's actually a sign that like we're going to get an explosion out of initial balance and a very directional move. So in a situation like that, that's when I'd anticipate like a break and retest of initial balance. Whereas on a day like today, where we're clearly just moving sideways, on a day like today, I'll choose to just fade initial balance. Two minutes until initial balance. No, not really, Robert. I don't pick a hard bias. I'll obviously have like somewhat of an idea of what I think price might do that day, but I don't enforce it so much. I'll very happily like look for this long, and then if volume changes, if I get new data from the market, from the auction, that I'll very happily shift my bias. I don't have a hard bias on the day. I don't have a daily bias. I have things that I might lean on for something similar to that. Oh, this is gonna get like down there right at initial balance. I want to lower my filter back down to 100. I want to see if there's any aggressive sellers in this or buyers. Don't look like it. More than happy to take this trade, honestly. I am going to target like right at the edge of this POC node though, not the POC itself. No trades today. I knew there was going to be some skullduggery during the Asia session, so I stayed away. How did you know, Professor Mac? You got some insider information you want to let us all in on. Don't test initial balance right as it's... Yeah, buy. Throw that back up. Throw it back up. I will just fucking enter this, like... I'm getting the limit order ready. Oh, I need to do... Fuck. Okay, wait there. I may as well do the 5. Let's see if I can be fast enough with this. I can. Skullduggery word of the day. Some absolute skullduggery. See if we get filled there. Oh yeah, filled. Holy shit, why is my fucking bracket so high? Why are they down there? The fuck? 99. That was weird. 14. I need to check my settings, because that was fucking bonkers how the... Come on, you bastard. Oh! Might be taking an L here. Oh, yeah, surely, right? My music stopped. My screen also froze. Come on. Stay alive. Do I widen the stop just a smidge? I can't really. I mean, I can. If this candle flips green, I'm moving my stop to like right at that low. I want to turn my music back on, but I gotta pay attention to the fucking price. Yeah, it didn't flip green. It did, but it closed bearish. Right, I'm turning my music back on. I'm now confident with my stop loss since we got buyers absorbed there and sellers stepped in as well. So if that does get smacked, then that's fine. Let me check my fucking position brackets. Yeah, my position brackets are at 200. What the fuck? Why did it set to like 1200? That was so weird. Surely, again, I'm surely fucked here, right? No doubt. I mean, actually, we've not built much volume, so there is hope. We have not built much volume here at all. But it just looks a little bit volatile. Breaking this overnight value area low, so... Maybe I should have longed from overnight value area high, or overnight value area low would have obviously been like the safer trade. Because then if I was longing from there, I could have had a stop loss 8 points below that, so like 907. But I feel like if this gets hit, then that's going to get hit anyway. I think I'm losing. Staying alive, staying alive. Not for much longer. I don't really care what the CVD does now. I'm more curious as to why my fucking position bracket glitched so bad and set my TP and stop loss at an automatic like 1200. That was terrifying. Wow, this is really tickling. It's really teasing. Let's just delete that for now. We'll watch that after the trade pans out. Good lordy lord. Yeah, overnight value area low was the safer play, 100%. I went for like the middle one. You could have gone for like current session value area low, initial balance low, or overnight value area low. But yeah, overnight value area low is the best entry, obviously, for this. That's why I want to see if the overnight value area low entry would have worked. If I had obviously like this exact same size stop loss, because my stop loss was based on... we're still not building volume here. So like I'm still confident in the idea. It's just that I feel like I'm going to get fucked by the volatility. It's not even volatile, it's just so close to my stop. Yeah, I can get wicked out very easily. Every time we get like a candle that flips green, I'm get so like please. I just need to survive. That's all this is. It's a game of survival. Need a tweet? Yeah. Oh, God, this is getting so close. Yeah, that's got me. Surely, yeah, it got me. Let's see if it gets down to 97. I have a feeling it may. Oh, we got sellers come in there. So if I entered, that was my trade there. L today, boys. If I entered there at 97, would this have played out? Going for something like that. Oh, hell no. Surely not, right? Would this have worked? We'll see. I can't imagine it would. Yeah, nah. That would have got... Would that have got hit yet? I mean, definitely pretty close to getting hit. I think that would just about tagged it. Yeah, that got 97 exactly. Executing on Top Step X, not Trading View. It looks very similar though, so I see confusion. Yeah, that was a fair loss. Obviously, like, it's not great conditions today, so I kind of was anticipating a loss if I was going to take a trade, but I was like, you know what, I will trade. Again, though, we're still not building volume up there, so... Or down there, sorry. We're not building any volume here, so I'm still actually kind of positive on the trade idea. Nothing about this says to me that we're going to continue lower here. Initial plan for... Yeah, but even that, I wouldn't like the break and retest yet, to be honest. The only other thing I could have done to risk better, like the best possible entry there would have been going for like 2 times the ATR, so 803. That would be 4, so 95. That would have been the like best case scenario entry. If I was trading like really nicely, because that's two times what the ATR was. The ATR was about 4. I did 1.5 times the ATR, and I entered at the initial balance low. So if I had gotten the better entry and had a wider stop loss, I would still be alive. It would have just popped back up into profit almost, but we'll see. I'm also going to draw up just for curiosity's sake. That would be 4. So then, yeah, 97. I would have got ticked out of it if I had entered at initial balance low and had a like wider stop loss. Like what I would do is if like for my more conservative stop loss. I think we'll reach POC soon. It's still, like I say, it's not putting any volume down where it is. So I would be confident in a retrace still, even though I'm out of the trade. I want to see if that trade idea that I just drew up like plays out, because like I say, that is if I was trading perfectly, not perfectly, but like conservatively, which I probably should have been doing today, really, but. I think today is just a no-trade day. Yeah, if you're being safe, 100%. Everything about today is off, yeah, with all the overnight news. But I'm not mad at myself for taking that trade, because given what happened overnight, my like trade idea was actually probably like the most likely scenario in that situation. Like test, just pop back up into the range, continue to chop. So I'm not mad at my trade, even though I lost. I was on a win streak, so we ended the win streak today. Hopefully we don't begin a losing streak. On to my next account, though, actually, as well. Need to make sure I do that. I only lost $184. I was short from POC and FOMO'd out before the current profiles value are low. I think I'll be done for the day. This is usually when I give everything back. Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be trying to push out on a day like today. If you got in and you made money, then well played. I want to just watch and see what this does, whether this is going to break out. Again, we're still not building volume here, so there is no interest in this. Like, I low-key want to re-enter my trade, but I'm not going to, obviously, but part of me wants to. I do feel like I had the right idea there, just a little bit. Obviously not like the ideal entry, not the worst case scenario entry. I went for like the middle ground. But yeah. Oh, hello, big buyer. You gonna push us up, or you gonna get absorbed? Oh, you got absorbed. Interesting. Oil tankers passing through Hormuz have been stopped after Israel's ceasefire breach. Iran's Fars news agency financial use. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that was 8 minutes ago. Oil tankers passing through Hormuz have been stopped after Israel's Iran's affairs. By violating ceasefire while at the same time attacking Lebanon and Iran, this regime is raising the cost of the agreement for the US. What a market. Trading with news every day is so stressful. We should all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Let's see if this gets back up to, rejection of initial balance low right there. Initial rejection. Initial rejection of initial balance low. I'm still not sold on the idea that this is going down. I'm still of the opinion that we're going back up to POC, but we'll see. The only thing that would change my view on that is volume building up here, which we are beginning to do, but still not enough for me. But we did have a very strong rejection from initial balance low there. Title of today's stream after it's finished will be trading in bad conditions equals loss. Am I 1 for 1 this week? I think I had two. Yeah, I had 2 winning trades last week, right? Let me go on my on this account. Yeah, 2 winning trades last week. You guys can't see that. This is this account. Two winning trades last week. That 1 winning trade yesterday, and then losing trade today. So then we'll see what Thursday and Friday brings. What happened on Monday? Something happened on Monday, right? Oh, it was Monday was the day where I wait, can I just back? There we go. Monday was the day where I was like hesitant to get in that long trade, but then it played out, so it was like a missed win. This chop fest is a definition of skullduggery. You're really trying to force that word on us, Professor Mac. Yeah, first trade, Audio Geekers. I only take one trade a day. Oh, I'm done. I'm done for the day now. I take one trade, win or lose. I just want to see what this does now, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Like, I want to see if this continues lower, or if it does indeed pop back up. And I was just like offside. But yeah, even given the conditions, I'm not, like I say, I'm not mad at that trade. That was a perfectly reasonable trade for me to take, in my opinion. If you the only thing you could say is like, oh, given what happened overnight, you should have just skipped the entire day. But wow, big sellers coming in on the CBD. Maybe we do continue lower. If you abbreviate it, I'll use it. That would have hit that perfect entry. Oh no, one tick short. There you go. That would have got it. So even if I had the best possible entry with as wide a stop loss as I would ever really consider using, I still would have lost that trade. So that's fine. That puts my mind at ease, honestly. Yeah, we built up a little bit of volume there, but still, will be interesting to see what this does now for the rest of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. I may as well finish up for the day. I'm not doing anything else. There will be no foolish one waving or silly incantations in this class. One and done is the way. Way to quote Harry Potter in the middle of the stream, or the end of the stream. There will be none of that. Hard to abbreviate. I may have to come up with a new word. Yeah, skullduggery ain't it, Professor Mac. You tried. Maybe next time. Oh, wick back up there. I'm gonna have a look at this later and see what it did. But I will leave it there today, boys. Like the stream on your way out. Helps me out. Costs you nothing. I don't ask for much. But yeah, that's the first loss of April. First loss in the last 6 or 7 trades. First loss of the month, first loss of the week, first loss in a while. Hopefully not the start of a losing streak. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, and Friday. We'll be on the next account in my cycle to spread that risk across the accounts. But yeah, I will leave it there. I will wish you a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Time for a beer in the sun. Scuzzman, I could not have said it better myself. I will catch you tomorrow, boys. 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you then.